God's blessing to me. On one day we had to pay for our hospital for the for mobile surgery room, and we were missing 10,000, and we were missing lots of money, and I was in a very bad mood. One friend called me in the evening. He asked, "Do you still need some money?" I said, "Yes, yes, yes." He told, "I have a friend, a monk. Somebody brought an envelope with money. If your story will be convincing, you will get money." The same evening, when there was a reception in the British embassy, and we went to Russian church, and I received an envelope with money, and that monk told that he doesn't know from whom, because unknown person brought, and there was 100,000 hryvnia. We covered not only our debts, but also we spent for some money for repair. You see, we are dressed in a similar fashion, and we had no doubt that we have not only solidarity of business doctors, and but also God's blessing, because on the other hand, reanimation vehicle Peugeot with still French number plates. It was presented by Kiev Patriarchate, and this project is very close to me, because it's a pilot of what is how political nation of Ukraine is built, how this fight for the country unites different confessions, different ethnic groups, different people with different professions and background. I'm absolutely sure that such solidarity of Ukrainians is something which Putin has not expected when he began these things in Ukraine, and then aggression in Ukraine. And this is shows that we will not just stand, but on the battlefield we'll put those bases that will be pilot projects in the reformation of healthcare, ethnopolicy, and sector, and in other sectors. Because what is happening in the East, it's not only a tragedy, but also a big experiment, where we find that in Ukraine we are paying big price for a year already, and which will be created very soon. And I will give the floor to my colleagues who are closer to healthcare. Please, Alexander. Do I need to say something? Okay. Yes, do, please. Very good group. Great material support. But in addition, and unexpectedly good supplies. Anyone a surgeon can wish, anything is provided. You just say to the boss what you need. In addition to that, probably, at least now, I would mention two main messages to the group from medical point of view: to learn and to work. In fact, we all these 2 months spent while they were creating the material base. We were training our staff, including drivers. All the staff of a mobile hospital, they took paramedical courses on, and we would like to thank for that the World Congress of Ukrainians and the initiative Захист Patriotів, who invested a lot into intellectual content and into content of the course. This model, very reduced, very primitive, but of medical reform. Look, in addition to medical supplies, and very expensive equipment and medicine, but the key moment in change, an improvement of survival of wounded or patients. This is we need to train the staff. We need to medical staff. We need to study. Yes, we have our field medicine. It's in addition. It has its own features. In addition to surgeons, our patients that die before they see a surgeon. They die at the place where they are wounded. That's why we need to pay a lot of attention to military paramedical staff, and that's what we did, and we'll do that.
As I've mentioned in the beginning, our idea is, from the very beginning, was to be autonomous the Department of Supply, but not to be anarchic, and that's why we signed the memorandum on cooperation with the Ministry of Defense. Also, we have the support of the NSDC, but we are not formally the units, neither of the Ministry of Defense nor of the Ministry of the Internal Affairs. That is the subunit of the medicine of catastrophes. I'm happy to give the floor to the representative of the Ministry of Public Health. That's actually our sectoral ministry. Thank you. What I wanted to share with you, when I've heard about that idea from Viktor, when he told it about it to me, I believe that we can be useful to each other, because the medicine of catastrophes every day faces these problems. According to the information of volunteers, about 90% of wounded people were evacuated by the ambulance teams, and that is why we have here the representatives of the ambulance service. We have plenty, we have some losses. You remember how in Kurakhova the emergency team medical team was shot. Many people who are doctors, they work irrespective of all these facts, but all those people who work in our hospital is included into the team of the medicine of catastrophes of the Ministry of Public Health of Ukraine, and every region has the reserve of medical doctors, and thanks to that we have the rotation of medical personnel. That is the idea, not for 1 month. I believe that this will continue even after the conflict is over. I believe this will be the potential for the future medicine of catastrophes of the state of Ukraine. Let's wish this unit successful work and not to have losses. Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation, which is not typical for Ukrainian state. I'm the civil servant of the first rank, and I would like to give the floor to Viktor Serdyuk, the person who heads the Council for Patients' Rights Protection, and he basically initiated this project. Thank you. When 3 months ago, even earlier, we were talking about doing something, about the necessity to do something, and 3 months ago we got together and we decided, let's try, and we succeeded. And we can say that now that we succeeded, because this project, Mobile Hospital, unites medical people and the people of Ukraine, the patients, people who care, who trust medical people. And these are the medical doctors of the highest standards. We do now understand different legal issues, and even though all the doctors are civilian, but they will have all the rights of the participants of ATO according to our legislation. And probably other doctors and other medical personnel will be rotated also. And as the chief of the staff of our battalion said, he says, that is the example of reforms. That is the example of what we should start from. And even though we're talking about the reform in the civilian sector, we understand that we need to supply everything needed to those people who cannot buy certain things in the pharmacy. The state has to help people to do very simple things, or at least not to put obstacles to that. And here we see the example of how the Ministry of Defense, the NSDC, and the Ministry of Public Health, and they came up to this initiative from the properly, and I would like to thank you all. Before you have an opportunity to ask questions, I would like to invite you to CEO of our first group of the first mobile medical hospital. From 1 o'clock, sniper test field will be open for you. It's in Kiev region, in Kievo-Svetoshensky district, Kapitanivka, Lisova Street 1. So we'll be happy to see you there starting from 1 o'clock. You, during 1 hour, will be able to see everything, to talk to volunteers, to ask them questions. So we will be at your disposal. We will appreciate if you go there, because our hospital is absolutely volunteer initiative, and it depends on the goodwill of people who participate in that, who donate to our hospital. They learn about us from mass media. That is why we hope that you will be supporting us and helping us. Interfax Ukraine.
Could you tell us about the technical parts in this group? I mean, which vehicles that you have in the first group, and also provide the information about the base. The second, for the second question, I will not give an answer, because that's decided by AT. We go to the headquarters of B, and they will decide on the base, depending on the situation, which is changing every day. Because the advantage of our hospital is everything else on the wheel. Mobility is the key word here, and different to military mobile hospitals, which are in camps. But we have on Ural base, Ural vehicle base, and it can go anywhere from Volnovakha to Debaltsevo on Ural base. And so our it will be our surgery room on Ural vehicle, and the surgeons can tell you that that's an operation surgery room on the wheels, and then a reanimation vehicle, Peugeot, and two IFAC, and that is cargo vehicles or trucks, and they will take equipment and medicine, what is needed, food, T4 Volkswagen, that's a present of our friends from Lithuania, and it will have just stuff there, and also a generator, electric generator, and also system with fuel, because we need to be there for long. That's it, right? Yes. Questions? Your questions? A question to the Ministry of Healthcare. I understand that the budget is limited, but the developments demand creation of similar mobile battalions. Are there agreements with the new minister that the part of the budget will be allocated for creation of 1 or 2 mobile battalions, medical battalions? You understand that this battalion, that is, they created, volunteers created it. So the need in medicine and everything we receive, there is a big demand among civilians. So that's why the majority of humanitarian assistance that comes to the Ministry of Healthcare is distributed distributed to Lugansk, Donetsk region, and to bordering Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, and Dnipropetrovsk regions, because the lion spot of wounded come to those regional hospitals. That's why we are ready for cooperation with the initiators from other battalions, and the way how to legalize. We developed the procedures with this battalion. As for the budget of our healthcare ministry, it's restricted and it's limited. It's small, and there are only money for socially poorly provided, for those social groups that are poorly provided. More questions? No questions. Then we are waiting for you on the test field from 1 o'clock to 2. You can speak, you can to our staff, you can see it, and you remember that we can exist only because you deliver information about us to Ukrainians who are not indifferent. Thank you.